Yo, H-Town! You won't believe the absolute earthquake that just rocked NRG Stadium. We are talking about a move that changes the entire face of our backfield for the upcoming season. If you bleed deep steel blue and battle red, you need to stay tuned right now because the front office just pulled the trigger on something massive. This is the kind of news that defines a dynasty, folks. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and ring that bell immediately. You do not want to miss a single second of this Houston Texans breakdown. Let's get into it. Joe Mixon is officially no longer a member of the Houston Texans after the team decided to release the veteran running back to clear some serious cap space. Man, this long and mysterious saga has finally reached its end, and let me tell you, it is a tough pill to swallow for the 713. For nearly a year, we have been hearing about this lingering foot injury that kept everyone in the dark. General Manager Nick Caserio described the whole ordeal as a freak situation, and it ended up sidelining him for the entire 2025 campaign. Without any real clarity on whether he could actually go in 2026, the team made the cold, hard business decision to move on and save $8 million in the process. It is a massive shakeup for a team that really leaned on his energy and playmaking ability when he was healthy. Head coach DeMeco Ryans didn't hide his emotions either, saying it was definitely a tough call because he thinks the world of Joe and what he brought to the locker room. He was an outstanding energy provider, a guy who kept the vibes high even when things got gritty on the field. But in this league, availability is the best ability, and that foot injury just wouldn't quit. It really makes you wonder, though, if the team was willing to cut ties with such a big name over a mysterious injury. What does that say about the medical staff's report on his long-term recovery? Was there something even deeper that we weren't being told about the severity of that freak accident? The timing of this release, rolling right into the next year, suggests the Texans wanted to turn the page as fast as possible to focus on a new era of smash-mouth football. It leaves a massive void in the backfield that many fans weren't expecting to see wide open this early in the offseason. But hold your horses, Texans fans, because as one door closes, another one swings wide open with a brand new face ready to take over the heavy lifting. You won't believe the physical specimen Ryans is already hyping up to be the next workhorse in Houston. Is this new addition actually an upgrade or just a temporary fix for a much larger problem? David Montgomery is now the man in the spotlight as the Houston Texans look to fill the massive gap left by the recent roster moves. Coach DeMeco Ryans is already sounding like a kid on Christmas morning when talking about getting this guy into the mix. He specifically mentioned that he is looking forward to the physical brand of football that he brings to the table, even using the term knuckles to describe that hard-nosed running style. The Texans are clearly pivoting toward a more consistent and efficient ground game, and they believe he is the perfect candidate to handle the Lions' share of the carries next season. He is known for being a serious, all-football kind of guy who is locked in from the moment he hits the facility. This is a huge opportunity for a player who is looking to prove he can still be the primary bell cow in this league. Coming over from the Detroit Lions, he is joining his third NFL team, and the expectations couldn't be higher. In Detroit, he had to share the backfield with a rising star, which naturally led to some of the lowest production numbers of his career. But Houston isn't Detroit, and the path is cleared for him to take over. Ryans loves the fact that he knows how to get more than what is actually blocked for him, showing that vision and grit that H-Town fans absolutely adore. He isn't just a placeholder, he is being brought in to be the guy who carries the load and sets the tone for the entire offense. The transition from a shifty playmaker to a consistent, efficient thumper reveals a lot about the new offensive identity being forged in Houston. We're talking about a guy who thrives on contact and relishes the chance to wear down a defense over 4 quarters. The coaching staff is betting big that his veteran leadership and blue-collar work ethic will stabilize a run game that struggled with consistency last year. But can he really recapture that peak form after a down year in Detroit? Or is Houston taking a massive gamble on a runner who might have too many miles on the tires already? The numbers tell a fascinating story about what David Montgomery is bringing to our Houston Texans offense. Last season in Detroit, he posted 158 rushes for 716 yards and 8 touchdowns across 17 games. While those were some of his lowest career totals, you have to look at the context of playing behind a stellar rookie producer. Now, he enters a situation in Houston where he is the clear-cut candidate for the bulk of the carries. If he stays healthy, we are looking at a guy who can easily see 250-plus touches behind a revamped offensive line that the front office has been working hard to upgrade. The $8 million saved from the previous roster move gives the Texans even more flexibility to bolster the trenches around him. We are looking at a few different scenarios here for the 2026 season. Scenario 1 is the dream. He stays healthy, finds his rhythm early, and provides that physical balance that allows our passing game to truly explode. In this scenario, he likely surpasses the 1,000-yard mark and becomes a touchdown machine in the red zone. Scenario 2 is a bit more cautious. He splits some time with Woody Marks, but still maintains that high efficiency Ryans is craving, keeping the chains moving and the defense fresh. Then there is Scenario 3, where the injury bug that plagued the backfield last year returns, forcing the Texans to scramble once again. However, the data shows that when he is given the lead role, his consistency is among the best in the league. He is an upgrade in terms of reliability and pass protection, which is huge for keeping our franchise quarterback clean. The Texans are clearly betting that a more balanced, physical approach will prevent the scoring unit from stagnating like it did during parts of 2025. By adding a runner who gets more than what is blocked, the team is essentially creating an insurance policy against those plays where the line might lose a rep. This shift in strategy could be the missing piece for a deep playoff run. If he can turn those Detroit numbers around and return to his prime production, the Texans will have one of the most balanced offenses in the AFC. The stakes are incredibly high, and the analytical projection suggests that if the volume is there, the production will follow suit. But will the revamped line hold up its end of the bargain to let him shine? Look, as an insider watching this team every single day, this move is a masterclass in roster management by Nick Caserio. It is painful to see a high-energy guy like Joe depart, especially after that freak injury robbed us of seeing his full potential in 2025. But you cannot pay $8 million for a question mark. That is how teams stay in the basement of the AFC South. By bringing in a serious locked-in veteran who fits DeMeco Ryans' physical culture, the Texans are sending a message to the rest of the league. We aren't just here to compete. We are here to bully people. This backfield transition is about moving from uncertainty to stability. David Montgomery is exactly what this offense needs to take the pressure off the young core. He is a pro's pro who doesn't complain about carries and just puts his head down to gain the tough yards. This is a dynasty-building move, plain and simple. We are building a team that can win in January when the weather gets cold and you need to run the rock to survive. The chemistry between Ryans and his new lead back is already looking elite. I truly believe we are going to see a career resurgence here in Houston that will make the rest of the NFL regret overlooking him last year. This isn't just a roster shuffle. It is a statement of intent for the future of this franchise. H-Town is ready to run the league, and this move proves it. This is a brand new era for the Houston Texans, and the backfield is officially under new management. The departure of a fan favorite is always a bitter pill, but the arrival of a physical powerhouse has the city buzzing with excitement. We want to hear from you, the real H-Town faithful. Do you think moving on from the veteran star was the right business move, or did the Texans give up too soon on that recovery? And how many yards are you projecting for our new workhorse next season? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now because we are reading every single one of them. Your passion is what makes this community the best in the NFL. If you loved this deep dive into the latest Texans news, do not forget to hit that like button and share this video with every Texans fan you know. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Join the family and stay ahead of the game with the best coverage in the 713. We are on the road to greatness together. Until next time, keep repping the H. Go Texans!